Hello everyone. In the last lecture we have started with the poem The Inchcape Rock, which is by Robert Southey. In this poem we have seen it is a story of a rock that turns the plot altogether. It deals with the tying of the bell by Abbot of the Aberbrothock along with cutting of the bell by Sir Ralph, who then is victimized by his own bad deeds. It shows the humanity between two persons. Thus our deeds in our lives telling us who we are in reality. Inchcape Rock is a popular poem by Robert Southey about the Inchcape Rock legend, a reef which is situated in the North Sea, close to the coastal region of the Angus in the Scotland. The Inchcape Rock is known for its infamy for shipwreck. This poem by Robert Southey revolves around the famous folktale of an abbot, a monk who placed a bell on the reef to issue a warning to seamen and seafarers about the impending dangers during storm. According to the folktale, whenever the bell used to ring, the seafarers used to bless the abbot's wisdom and thank him for saving them from danger. But a sea robber named Ralph cut down bell to earn money and treasures from the ships that fatally crashed against the rock. However, a day came when the Ralph's vessel too encounters a storm and crashes against the rock. This is when he hears death bells ringing. The first stanza describes the calm state of the sea. The second stanza describes the Inchcape Rock on which the waves are gently moving without making any impact on the Inchcape bell. The third stanza talks about the wise abbot of Aberbrothock who had placed the bell on the rock to prevent ships from getting shipwrecked during storm and gales. The fourth stanza describes that when the rock was full of water by the strong waves during high tide, the bell would ring and warn the sailors against the rock. The fifth stanza is cheerful in tone. It is a joyful day where the sun was shining brightly and the sea birds were chirping above screaming. The sixth stanza speaks about the boy which looked like a dark visible speck on the green ocean. Till here we have seen, student. Now we have to move towards our next stanza, which is seventh one. He felt the cheering power of spring. It made his whistle, it made his sing. His heart was mirthful to excess, but the rover's mirth was wickedness. Now in this stanza, poet describes Ralph's thought and feelings. The magic of the cheerful weather gripped his mind and he felt unusually joyous. He was making whistling sound and singing in delight as his heart swayed in joy. However, this joy was not pure and got generated from his wickedness. He had something devilish in his mind. So in this stanza we can say that Ralph, he is very happy, cheerful, but in his mind something is going on. Something devilish things are going on in his mind. So he decided to do something which is not good for the society. Next, his eye was on the Inchcape float. Quoth he, my men, put out the boat, and row me to the Inchcape rock, and I shall plague the abbot of the Aberbrothok. The devilish thought of lurking inside the dark mind of the captain made him to cook up a very nasty plan. Now his intentions were to destroy the good work of the abbot by destroying the bell. Why? Because the captain, he was jealous about the abbot, as well as he wants to steal the things. He wants to do the robbering of the ships, and that's why he decided that he is going to destroy the bell which is established by the abbot, and wreak havoc on the passing ships with the hidden treacherous rock. Plague. Plague means cause pain. He want to give pain to abbot. He want to trouble abbot because he was jealous of him, and that's why he wants to destroy the bell which was placed by abbot of the Aberbrothok. The boat is lowered, the boatmen row, and to the Inchcape rock they go. Sir Ralph bent over from the boat and he cut the bell from the Inchcape float. The captain ordered his men to lower a boat and hopped on it so as to get close to the boy to uproot it. Now in this stanza, poet tells us that the captain, he gave order to his men. Now he sat in his small boat and he went near to the Inchcape rock because he wants to uproot it, and finally he cut the bell from the Inchcape rock. Down sung the bell with a gurgling sound, the bubbles rose and burst around. Quoth Sir Ralph, the next who comes to the rock won't blaze the abbot by the Aberbrothok. As soon as the Ralph cut the rope, the bell of Inchcape sank down in the deep water, creating a gurgling sound, causing bubbles to rise and burst on the surface. Deriving immense pleasure from what he did, he felt satisfied. He means the captain, the pirate, he felt satisfied. Why? Because whatever he wanted to do, now finally he did. And that's why he became very happy, he felt blessed. That the bell would save no more ships and the seamen would no longer blaze the abbot. And now he felt that the seamen, they are not going to blaze the abbot because the bell is no more there and no more ships are going to be saved by the abbot. Sir Ralph the rover sailed away. He scoured the seas for many a day, and now grown rich with the plunder store, he steers his course for the Scotland shore. Proud of his deed, Sir Ralph set the sails on a new journey across many seas and over many days. He was a pirate and robbed many ships which made accident crashing to the Inchcape Rock. And he became a rich man now. After collecting enough treasure, he was heading back to the Scotland shores. So he passed his so many days on that ship. He had gone here and there, and he robbed many ships which made accident because the Inchcape Rock, because the bell was not there. And now the captain, he became a rich man, and after collecting so many treasure with him, he wanted to go back to his homeland, that is the Scotland shores. So thick a haze o'erspreads the sky, they cannot see the sun on high. The wind hath blown a gale all day, at evening it had died away. The day when Sir Ralph was returning turned out to be a dark, the thick fog filled atmosphere spread. Haze. Haze means thin mist. So that day when the captain was returning turned out to be dark, the thin fog filled atmosphere spread far and wide, making the sun invisible. The strong winds that were blowing throughout the day ceased in the evening. On the deck the rover takes his stand, so dark it is they see no land. Quoth Sir Ralph, it will be lighter soon, for there is dawn of the rising moon. Sir Ralph stood on the deck but couldn't see the land due to the foggy atmosphere. The crew was panic stricken, but Ralph assured them that there would soon be some light in the sky, so you don't worry, as the moon was about to appear. Canst hear, said one. Canst hear. Canst, it is a old second person singular present of can. Can't hear, said one, the breakers roar, for methinks we should be near the shore. Now where we are I cannot tell, but I wish I could hear the Inchcape bell. One of the crew members said that he could not locate the position of the ship because the atmosphere is foggy and coastland, as the waves were descending into a mute conspiracy. He was also lamenting that there was no Inchcape bell to warn them of nearing rocky coast and to ease their fears. So in this stanza, one of the crew member, he told the captain that he could not locate the position because of the foggy atmosphere. He could not see the land. He said if the Inchcape bell would have there, so that time it was became easy to them to find the rocky coastland. And now all the crew members as well as the captain, they are afraid. They hear no sound, the swell is strong, though the wind hath fallen, they drift along. Till the vessel strike with the shivering rock, O Christ, it is the Inchcape Rock. The sea got more turbulent, and they could hear no sound as there was no alarm bell ringing. The wind also dropped to a standstill, and the ship was now in the grip of the waves, and they continued rowing here and there. Suddenly the ship got the jerk, and they understood and uttered in disappointment, O God, this is the Inchcape Rock. That their vessel had hit the Inchcape Rock, and they couldn't find that rock because the Inchcape Bell, it is not there. That's why they had hit the Inchcape Rock. Sir Rab the rover tore his hair. He cursed himself in his despair. The waves rush on every side. The ship is sinking beneath the tide. Now here in this stanza we can see the disappointment of Sir Rab, who is a pirate of the sea. Now the Sir Rover, he is in frustration, pulled his hair, and he cursed himself. Why he cursed himself? Because he did evil. He fell into a pit of his own making, and the rock turned into his tombstone. Meanwhile, the water started rushing in from all the sides and started sinking the ship. हमने अक्सर सुना है, जो कोई दूसरों के लिए गड्ढा खोदता है वो खुद ही जाकर वो उस गड्ढे में गिर जाता है. So same thing happened here. The captain, he was jealous of the abbot, and that's why he wanted to destroy his bell, which was the warning bell. And he decided that when he is going to cut the bell, so after easily he can rob the ships, and that's why he did that. He cut the bells from the Inchcape Rock, and now he did not find the shore, and his ship had hit the Inchcape Rock. And in this stanza we can see that the captain, he is cursing himself in a despair, tearing up his hair in frustration. Meanwhile, the waves have started to engulf the ship, and it started to sink beneath the high tide. But even in his dying fear, one dreadful sound could the rover hear, a sound as if with the Inchcape bell the devil below was ringing his knell. In the last stanza of the poem, Inchcape Rock, Rab the rover can hear a dreadful sound of a ringing bell which resembles the sound of the Inchcape bell, but is actually the death knell rung by the devil himself. The rover finally pays for his own deeds. Knell, the sound of a bell rung solemnly after death or funeral announcement of death. So in the last he heard the sound, but that sound, it is of his funeral sound. He is going to die, and that's why he can hear the bell sound, but that is not the Inchcape bell sound, it is his funeral sound. Means what? Finally he pays for his own deed. So whatever he did, he had to pay for his own deeds. Now student, what about the theme? The basic theme of the poem is that those who do bad things will ultimately be punished. Accordingly, and poetic justice was done. The poem The Inchcape Rock teaches us a moral lesson. As you sow, so shall you reap. In English, we say that whatever you are going to sow, so that things you will get in the future. If you do good things to others, so good things you will get. If you do bad things to others, so in return you are going to get same thing. The poem proves the principle that crime gets its own punishment. As the story moves ahead, Rab the rover grows extremely rich and settles in the Scotland. But nature sooner or later pays you for all your wrong deeds. This was also true in the case of Sir Ralph. While he was aboard on his ship, one night the moon was absent, and the captain incessantly enthused his sailors by saying that moonlight will appear soon, and they should not fear. The sailors followed the orders, and the ship continued moving. With an unforeseen turns of events, the ship hit the Inchcape Rock and slowly started drowning in the water. While drowning, the sailors and all the people aboard wished that the bell was there on the rock, because if the bell would have existed, such an accident would not have taken place. When the captain drowns, he feels miserable to have removed the bell from the rock, because he was himself paying the price of the wrong deed he once committed. Though the bell was not there, Sir Ralph could hear the noise of the bell in his head, banging continuously. He felt that the ringing bell was telling him that, look, you are paying for your own wrong deeds. The poem is in a narrative tone that tells a story. Here the poet has used narrative techniques to give the effect to the poem. The poem The Inchcape Rock provides a fine verbal image of the calm atmosphere and the sea. Then the Inchcape Rock is presented the old abbot's plan of putting a bell. This way the ballad slithers from one incident to another very smoothly, providing a clear picture into the reader's mind. So when you read the poem, you get clear idea of the story. When we read the poem, so automatically the image it is there front of us, that what things are happening, and from one incident to another you go moving on. If we talk about the central idea of the poem, so it is that he who digs a pit for others falls into it. So already I said, जो खुद के लिए गड्ढा खोदता है वो खुद ही उसमें गिर जाता है. The Inchcape Rock is based on the idioms you will reap what you sow, tit for tat, what goes around comes around, and the like. If you sow happiness, you will get happiness, and if you sow sadness, you will get sadness indeed. This is in fact the rule of nature. The Inchcape Rock near the coast of Scotland is actually the central theme of this essay. This precise rock in Scotland is a huge and perilous rock which can be not noticed in hot and sunny days, but a ship could meet with an accident with the rock during storm because it is not perceptible at that time. The abbot of the Aberbrothock hanged a bell on the rock, as a result of which the bell rang continuously till the storm was present, and thus the sailors avoided the way where the bell rang. Rab the rover, a pirate, decided to free the rock from the bell because he used to rob the ships which were destructed as a result of the damage caused by hitting the Inchcape Rock. So what is the conclusion? The conclusion of the Inchcape Rock is, poet, he concludes by saying that as you sow, so shall you reap. The poem proves the principle that crimes gets its own punishment. The rover cuts off the bell to pave the good abbot and the other helpless sailors, but in the end he falls into his own laid trap. Remorse and regrets later overtake him, but it was too late already. So student, I hope that you must have understood the poem. If you have any query about any word, about any stanza, so you can drop your comments in comment box. Next lecture I am going to give you the activity for this poem as well as appreciation I am going to give for the poem. Thank you.